I am not demure. I am depressed. I am not mindful. I am mentally unstable. I am not cute. I am crippled with anxiety. Kinda cute though.
If you think about it, all of us are under our anxiety era. As always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow me on TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. Yeah, Cosmo, for some reason, she want to be a part of the blog video. I mean, she's featured in the blog video. Yeah, so me and Cosmo went to San Antonio yesterday, literally. And we got back late at night, but it was something I was like, you know what? I did promise babies one day that I was going to take her to San Antonio for the first time. And I was like, the one thing I just want to do is just take her to the Alamo, because I did hear that supposedly the city of San Antonio was doing like their Dia de los Muertos celebration, because technically today, October 27, kicks off Dia de los Muertos. If you guys have pets, you know, that are either recently deceased or, you know, you've been having them for so long that they passed a while ago, you're more than welcome to do like a little ofrenda. And that's what I did. I actually did my first ofrenda this year. And so I was like, you know what? I originally wanted to do just, you know, my oldest dog and, you know, my guinea pigs that passed away. Oh my gosh, she wants to be back on the video. She's like, let me be part of this. So I did an ofrenda, and it's so crazy because my oldest dog and my oldest guinea pig passed away literally in 2020, like not even a couple months apart. And long story short, I was in severe depression. So I'm like, I'm in my anxiety era. So but yeah, I've been wanting to do this for so long. And I know last year when I saw like videos of people's ofrendas like everywhere, I was like, okay, I want to do that for Meme and my guinea pigs. Here's a funny story. So when I did the ofrenda, like I already had it kind of set up, but I was like, we're still missing a few things, like, you know, candles, the marigold flowers. They call them, I forgot the name in Spanish because it's so long and I can't fully pronounce it. That's how you know I'm like half Hispanic. But I was like, I wanted to buy those, like the real flowers, but I'm like, they're so expensive, so I bought little fake ones at HEB. Shout out to HEB, I swear. So yeah, the ofrenda was completed, but then next thing I know, like this was literally a week ago. Oh my god. Like me and Cosmo got back from running errands. We usually run our errands like nothing. And when we got back, we were just chilling in my room and I heard like a loud noise and I was assuming it was my dad. But nobody was around and I was like, what the fuck was the loud noise? And then I see that where my grandpa passed away when I was like a baby. So I have no memory of him. And the frame that he was on, like it hasn't fallen for so long. Like we had hurricanes, we had tornadoes, and that frame is still on the wall to this day. But for some reason, it fell. And I was freaking out and I was like calling my dad and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It's like I hear stories, I've seen videos on TikToks where like spirits do come and, you know, signal like, oh, they're present and whatnot. But that was my experience. But at the same time, I'm like, what so I feel like my grandpa was like, really, like you're not gonna make me an ofrenda? And I'm like, I guess so. We ended up putting him in the ofrenda now. So I think my other grandpa, like both of my grandpas are gone. But my other grandpa is probably like, wait, what about me? But at the same time, I don't have a picture of him, so oh well. But yeah, anyway, I got sidetracked. So that's the thing that San Antonio did, is that they're doing like a bunch of decorations for Dia de los Muertos. So I assume the decorations were still gonna be there at the Riverwalk yesterday. So I told babies, I'm like, you know what, let's just go and see if it's there. Yeah, no, it wasn't there. So I was like, I guess, whatever. But she still managed to walk around the Riverwalk. And so I was like, every time I walk by there, like I just think back in 2022 when I was there, you know, for Rammstein. And I was just like, memories. But still, I had fun. Cosmo got to go to daycare over there in San Antonio while I went to SpaceCon. It's something that we've been talking about for previous weeks that I've been wanting to do because Giancarlo Esposito happens to be one of the guests. One of the main guests that were going to be at the convention is Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Rosario Dawson, and I think Josh Brolin too, because they were like in this big banner, and I was like, okay, maybe a lot of people are going to go. And the tickets for Hayden and Ewan, they were like sold out, and that includes both autographs and photo ops. So I'm like, well, there goes that. And they were really expensive, by the way. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I really want to still continue getting the Breaking Bad experience. As some of you guys already know, I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. I actually got to meet Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul literally a couple of days before my birthday last year. And it was right before I was going to go to Albuquerque too. And I've talked about it on the podcast. Fuck it, I'll mention it again if you guys are new on this. But like, I was wearing my greetings from Albuquerque shirt that I got when I went to the Breaking Bad tours back in 2017. So that was the first time I went to Albuquerque. And Aaron actually noticed the shirt, and he's like, oh, hey, like, are you from Albuquerque, or like, are you going? And I told him, I'm like, I'm actually going back to Albuquerque like in a couple of days for my birthday. And then Brian was like, oh, well, happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, you guys got stuff, you know? So I was like, okay, well, that's even better. Like, honestly, like last year, best birthday present. So yeah, I got to meet them, and then I got to go to Albuquerque right after that. And it was funny too, because yesterday at the convention, one of the vendors was asking me if I was from Albuquerque, because the shirt that I wore, it said Los Pollos Hermanos, and then underneath it says Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then he was looking at my Crocs, and my Crocs has that logo. I forgot what they call it, but it's basically what's under the New Mexico flag. And I was like, I wish. And I could have told him like, oh, well, my ex is from there. But still, I was like, I wasn't not gonna get into that. But I just basically said no, like I visited, and you know, my shirt had its full circle moment, because when I bought it when I was there, I don't think my shirt was like, oh, am I ever gonna meet Giancarlo? And I was like, no, this is the perfect shirt for me to wear when I'm taking the photo op. So I'm like, yeah, so I got to wear the shirt. And honestly, everything else, I was expecting SpaceCon to be a little bit bigger. I don't know, because I thought like the venue was going to be like 3 separate locations, and everybody was promoting it to like, oh, it's going to be at the Freeman Coliseum. And it's like one little building. It reminds me of like the Astrodome here in Houston. But no, it turns out it was like just 2 little expo halls like above it. And I swear, parking took forever. So if you can see, I actually made you guys like this little video that shows you where I started and how much I had to walk. So like I had to go all around the parking lot, and then go all the way to where the Freeman Coliseum is at to check in, and then had to go back up to get into the freaking expo halls, whatever. The main expo hall was like at the very top. That's where mostly all the celebrities were going to be there for doing autographs and photo ops. But then like for Hayden, Rosario, and Ewan, it was at the other hall. And I wanted to check it out, but the lines were so big, and I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So never mind. So I tried to do the most I could, because, you know, yeah, I spent money just for the place itself. But yeah, it wasn't that much for me to get. So I think for me, like most of the vendors was consisting of Funko Pops, overly priced Funko Pops, by the way, which I get it, you know, that's the whole reason why people sell them, because, you know, and I was like, I wanted to buy some, but at the same time, no space. I mean, I could make space over here, but I'm too lazy. And I was like, I am not going to be spending my money on Funko Pops. Like, I came here to get stuff. Maybe one of a kind stuff, like, you know, stuff that people are making, God knows what, and then go from there. Which, by the way, yes, I did ended up getting my money's worth. So we're gonna do a haul at the very end of the video. So just to give you guys like a little explanation of how the blog is gonna be, it's really short. I literally just did the editing. It's not even 8 minutes. Like 8 minutes of just going and then coming back. But I feel like with the haul, you get to see like what most of the things that I bought, and I get to do a little bit of shout out on some of the vendors because they were very sweet and kind. Of course, again, in respect of the privacy, I did not record their little booths and whatnot. I did have a button that I made where I actually let the vendors know, like, hey, let me know if you want to be featured, but nobody volunteered. So I'm like, okay, well, that's why the blog is so short. And then after that, you know, I go pick up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I don't know. She's weird. But later on after that, I went to go pick up babies, and then we ended up exploring San Antonio just a little bit. So I don't know, I don't want to say I'm a San Antonian, but I've been there so many times that I'm already familiar with the place. Hell, I even worked there. So I'm like, I'm okay with San Antonio. I love it. Like, the only thing I'm kind of upset about it, and I didn't realize it till I got home, is that I didn't get to eat some of Bill Miller's barbecue. Like, I love it. Like, every time I'm in San Antonio, I have to eat Bill Miller's. But that day, yesterday, like, for some reason, there was so much happening that I forgot to feed myself. I did eat in the morning, like, when we were on the way to San Antonio. But after that, like, we're gonna go ahead and kick off the vlog video, and then when we come back, we'll go ahead and do the haul. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get the vlog started. You already know. Should I buy you this? And we're here. It is her first time in San Antonio, mama. Welcome, babies. So yeah, we're finally here, and now it's time to go drop her off to daycare because I'm not planning to take her to SpaceCon with me. So let me go ahead and do that really quick. Can never go wrong with HEB. Bro, there's so many options, but unfortunately they don't have it probably on my HEB. All right, so I got the comb. My hair is a little bit much better now. I'm kind of feeling insecure by this little gap. You could tell I really don't like my forehead, but we'll see. We'll see. I still got the handy dandy comb just in case, but it is time to go to SpaceCon. Had to stop to check the thing, and this is the first thing I see. I don't know what the line is for, but I'm pretty sure it's not for this.
What
I need that. There's an enemy among us. I'm literally chilling in the booth right now, and I did my makeup, so yeah, that's fun. I just took the picture. He was so nice. I asked him, I'm like, is this your good side? And he's like, whichever side, whatever you want, you know. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll stay right here. Let's go get the picture. All I was cheesing so bad, but look at him. He's so adorable. All right, let the shopping begin. I don't need it. Don't ask what I got. Okay, this side I am done. Now we gotta go to the artist alley. I wanted to go to this hall, but maybe I should just go home. It's too long for me. Ka-chow! I'm so tired. Oh my god, it is fucking hot, but I'm finally in the car. And honestly, I'm so exhausted. I am like so close to just say, you know what, babies? I don't want to take you to downtown, but at the same time, I promised her. So the things I do for this dog. So let's go pick her up and take her to downtown San Antonio. We made it. What do you think, Mama? Different? I told her, do you want to check out the Riverwalk? It's like she already knows where we're going. It's your first time here. Let me find out. She's already fed up. We're back. I hope you guys did enjoy that little Houston driving 101 because Honestly, if you're a Houstonian, you gotta have your backup routes because traffic is inedible, just like Thanos. And so, yeah, I don't know how, but I sometimes don't trust Google Maps whenever they tell me, oh, yeah, stay in this route. I'm like, no, I'm going straight. So, yeah. And there's like, if I was in that route, I want to say there's probably like 3 or 4 more backup routes I have in case of, like, oh, if I kept going straight and not, turn to downtown Houston, I would have kept going straight. Like, that's the thing I love, that Houston has different routes. It may take a while, but you either save yourself some time or you just avoid traffic. So that's your full warning in case if you guys are not from Houston. So now, as I promised, we're gonna go ahead and do a haul. Like, literally, this bag right here, which I also got from HEB, it's filled with a bunch of stuff. Like, well, there's that, and then there's the big thing that I was carrying when I was like, don't ask me what I bought. We're gonna leave that one at the very end. It's like big, so like I have to go reach out, go get it, and show it off, and then after that I will show you where I'm gonna place it. So yeah, there's that. So the first thing I'm gonna show you guys, I didn't record this vendor, and when I saw the stand, I think it was like that one, and I want to say like 2 or 3 more vendors that were selling something similar. They call it freeze dried candy, and I was like, I've seen it like whenever I got to the convention. At first I was like, let me just go around, see what I want to see, because by the time I got there it was already like 12:10. So I remember I did see that Giancarlo's photo op, it was gonna start at 2:20, and then they say, oh, but we're gonna start lining people up like at 2:10, 2 o'clock. So I was like, okay, so I have like an hour and a half ish to just go around, see what I want to see, but I wasn't gonna buy anything just yet. I was like, I'll just do that, and then once I'm done with the photo ops, then I'll go on a shopping spree, basically, because I saved myself a ton of money. I'm like, this is not gonna be like Houston Horror Film Fest. No, like, I'm saving money so that way I can go all out. And turns out I still had money left over, so I'm like, that's even funny. And wait until I tell you guys at the end of the video where I'm gonna go next week. Yeah. But anywho, back to what I was saying, because I keep getting sidetracked. The first vendor I did see, I was like, let me go up to them, because I did see other places that are selling something similar. So I'm like, eh. And the place that I went to, they didn't give me a card or anything. Like, their stand just said freeze dried candy, and that was it. So there's no way for me to tell you guys, like, shout out. And the bags that they gave me was like this, and a sticker label describing the item, and that's it. So I'm like, well, oh well, that's what happens. But the guy explained it that, basically they have this machine, I guess, that when you go and put candy on it, it compresses it, like, kind of like when you're freeze drying stuff, but it takes away some of the texture of the candy that makes it feel like you're eating like Cheeto Puffs or something. It's like very puffy. So they had like these small bags, and it was like 3 for $10. And trust me, I'm literally gonna rank them to my favorite to my least favorite. So yeah, my very favorite ones, and this was the only bag that they had. It's the salted caramel marshmallows. You could tell, like, I'm already munching on it. There's like, what, 3 cubes left, and my dad hasn't tried them. So I'm like, well, I would finish it off, but yeah. So this one was my favorite. I wish I had more, but yeah, I got the last bag, and this one I do highly recommend. And then the middle candy that I got was the honey moon rocks. That's what they call it. And you can tell, like, I mean, they're good. They do taste like honey, and they're very, like, puffy. I wish I could just, like, show you guys what I'm talking about, but I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if you heard that, but it's, like, very puffy. It's really good. It's slightly sweet. If you guys are not big fans of sweet candy, this may be it for you. And then my least favorite, there's a reason why. This one is called Monster Mash. You can already assume the reason why I got it was because it's purple. But at the same time, I did read that the candy corn was, the flavoring is called blackberry cobbler. I'm not a fan of blackberry. I'm not a fan of any berries whatsoever. But I do eat fruit. So, like, mango's my favorite. But I was like, let me try it and see what's it all about. When I tried it, I was like, yeah, This is why I don't like berries. I still haven't eaten this one. This one's a marshmallow. So I was like, you know what? I'll just wait till after the blog video and eat the marshmallow itself. I mean, I could eat it right now, but I'm like, no. So yeah, this one was my least favorite. And they had many other flavorings. The other one I did see was like caramel candy apple. But again, I was like, no. And some of it were like overpriced. Like they had like a big tray for I think it was like $10 or up. And then they had larger bags of these for $10. And I was like, like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the small ones because again, I don't know what I'm trying. I mean, the guy was sampling some of them, but he, like, for example, the candy corn he got the regular candy corn. That's when I got hooked on it. So I'm like, let me see what's all about. So yeah, that again, I don't have vendor information for y'all, but if you go online and look up, freeze dried candy, and if you see that, maybe that will help. So yeah. The other thing, and I just realized before I forget, I want to show you guys the shirt. The shirt, I actually got it at another vendor. I don't know if she gave me. I checked. I didn't find her card. I'm like, God damn it. Some of these vendors need to give me their cards. I only have cards for 2 vendors. That's it. I'm like, wow. Anywho, but this lady, she was very cool. Basically, what she did is like she combined horror theme with Texas. There was another shirt that I saw that had Freddy Krueger, and I want to say it was Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw. I can't remember what they were doing, but this one caught my attention because it's Whataburger, and well, I have to get up, but it's Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. So they're basically at Whataburger, and I'm like, this is the most Texan slash horror themed shirt I could ever get. And so I'm like, I'm gonna wear it obviously because I love it. At the same time, Halloween is around the corner. So yeah, I really love this shirt, and wish I could have gotten her card because she had many other shirts. So yeah, that one caught my attention, and obviously I love Whataburger. I don't think it's a Texan thing. It's a nationwide thing at this point because I don't know why people in Texas actually think Whataburger just exists there. I'm like, it originated there. But last time I checked, like whenever I was in New Mexico back in 2017, we literally drove by a Whataburger, and I'm like, okay, so, and then I found out that my hometown also has a Whataburger, and I'm like, honestly, my hometown, shout out to them because they have a Whataburger and a Buc-ee's. It's like, next thing you know, whenever an HEB is there, I'm going back. I'm like, I want to go back to my hometown. Unless, you just never know. But that's all I got to say about that. But this was one thing that I got from another vendor. The next thing I wanted to show you guys, this is handmade. I want to say I've seen these vendors at Comic Palooza or Anime Matsuri before, but because I started watching Berserk, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because there's an R right there, but I started watching that anime because, Slaughter Prevail and releasing their song Behemoth, but I mean, come on. And honestly, though, this is what I'm doing, okay? So I did buy it so I can wear it and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, if I ever go to another, like, Slaughter Prevail concert, I'm throwing this to Alex, by the way. I'll be like, here. Like, I bought it technically for you. But I'm gonna wear it for now. So there's that. But yeah, that's like the idea that I have. So mark my words, if that moment does ever happen, I'm gonna try my best to like record it as I throw it. But I also wanted to support the vendor because he handmakes them, and so I don't know what they do. The other vendor that was with him, she was like just telling me over and over again, it's handmade, and I'm like, yeah, I heard you the first time. I just want to get it because it looks so cool, and the idea that I have that I'm gonna throw it to one of my favorite artists. So yeah, that was one. Same thing, no card, no information. I'm over here like, okay, I get it, I'm a customer and whatnot. Am I supposed to be asking for a business card, or what's the whole deal? And plus they don't let me film their booths, which is more reasons. Like, this message is for the vendors. If you see me at a convention, I'm pretty sure y'all don't even watch this video, but still, if y'all see me with a button that says, hey, I'm blogging this event, you never know if I'm gonna buy something from y'all and I can help y'all promote it. Just saying. So anywho, back to the haul. I'm over here rambling and whatnot. So same thing, like this other vendor, makes like wooden ornaments. I saw this like back when I went to Helen, Georgia for my birthday this year. And you know, they make it, but this is like double layer. Like you could tell right here. There's like a layer right here. There's a layer. And you can actually, that's what smells. I was like, whenever I was editing the video, I was thinking about, you know, I mentioned Bill Miller's earlier in the blog. And I'm like, why do I smell barbecue? It's this. So yeah, so it smells like barbecue. But anywho, that's how they make it. I think they put a flame on it and then bam, bam. But I love Godzilla. And then this is how the back looks. So you can use like either or. And I love it. So I'm like, I'm obviously going to get it. And it cost me $20. So I'm probably going to put it like on this side of the wall. I'm still debating on it. So yeah, but basically how I have my mask hanging over here, that's the idea I have for this. And it's like right here. So you never know. So that was another thing. And the next thing that I got, and this was funny because I wasn't planning on getting this, but it was too hilarious not to get it. And so this guy, his name is Roman Martinez, and he has, I want to say his social is Roman Martinez Art Design. So he's from El Paso. I actually started talking to this guy, and I just told him, I'm like, I don't know why, but your art makes me laugh a lot, and I'm already thinking about getting this. And he's the one that actually asked me if I was from Albuquerque, and I was like, no, you know. But I think he's originally from Houston because that's what we were talking about, but he's in El Paso now. And whenever I saw this, I'm like, if you're Hispanic, you can't miss Loteria. We love it. But he basically made it into Star Wars theme, but how we say it in Spanish, Star Wars Loteria. And I told him too, straight up, I'm like, bro, you did Jar Jar wrong on this one because he called him El Pendejo. And I'm like, no. But like he has Darth Vader as El Diablo. It's so funny. I'm like, no. But there's so many on here. That's why I'm like, look, just take a screenshot of it so y'all can read the whole thing. I haven't opened it. I want to open it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, you know what? If you guys really want it, here's the info. Definitely go to this website if you want to buy it for yourself. So yeah, that's why. But I was like, no, I want to play this. And plus, if I ever like go to my brother's place, because he's also a huge Star Wars fan, I'm like, boom, we can play this next time I go. So that was one thing that I bought from this guy. And then the next thing, and I'm not going by order, I'm just going by the stuff that I'm actually like digging up. This one, I was debating on getting it because I think this was like $45. But it's basically a purse for you to put your tumbler and whatnot. And I was like, I wish I brought something like an insulated cup or something like while me and babies were in the Riverwalk yesterday. Because I could have easily just put a tumbler right here and then boom, we have water. Or even a water bottle at that. And I was like, this is perfect, like if we're ever traveling and whatnot. And of course, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. So I'm like, oh, you can't miss it. It also has a pocket in here where you can actually just stash your wallet and whatnot. And look, I was like, that's perfect. So I'm happy that I got this. And yes, we do have a card in here. And this is from Cena Graphics, I think. It says handmade pop wallets, purses, and bags. So this is her card in case if you guys want to check her out. I don't know if it's focusing or whatnot. But again, once it does, just take a screenshot and definitely check it out. She had more themes. There was a Star Wars one that I saw, and I think I saw Pennywise the Clown. So, but me, I'm like, I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I also have a Tumblr. I don't think y'all seen it, but I took a video of it whenever I was shopping, and I put it on my Instagram, which is more reasons y'all need to follow me. But it's basically like a Stanley Tumblr, and I'm like, perfect, could do that. So that was that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, and this one I have her business card, but this lady, oh my god, I fell in love with everything that she was selling, and I was so jealous that I didn't have enough money to just buy everything from her. Why do I say this? It's because her designs, I don't know how she was explaining it to me, but again, in terms of business and process, it just, you know. So here's the thing. I wanted to buy like this backpack from her. There was another bag. They had Deadpool all over it and it was so beautiful. I don't want to show you guys a picture of it because I want to get my hands on it before y'all do. So I'm sorry. But anywho, there is this other bag that she was showing me. It's like, it's smaller, cheaper, was like 30 bucks. And I was like crying internally because the bag that I really wanted, the Deadpool one, it was almost, I want to say it was almost 200. And I told her, I'm like, I'm taking your business card. Like, that was the only person I actually like remember to take a business card. And I'm like, I'm taking your business card because I'm waiting for my Christmas bonus, and if it's a good amount, I'm buying that bag from her. I don't know. She's actually from Dallas, so I was like, oh hey, I'm from Houston, you know. So I'm gonna show you guys her business card first, and then I'm gonna show you what the thing that I bought. So this is her business card. There's her Instagram. I don't think she has Facebook or anything. And this is the little bag that I bought. It's so cute. So Cosmo's like looking at me like, what's going on? She's actually sleeping. I bought this for Cosmo. You can see it's so cute. She had a bigger size, like, you know, kind of like the long fly designs that, you know, they have. So she had that size, but I want to say it was like 70 or 80. And me, I have so many mini backpacks. I don't collect them. I have them to actually use it. And I actually used one of the backpacks, you know, whenever I was at the convention. And I showed it to the lady over there. I'm like, look, I have so many backpacks, as you can see. I want the other bag. The other bag that I loved, it wasn't even a backpack. It was just like a straight up bag. But this one, I was like, okay, this is perfect because Longfly also released like their small designs of their version of their backpacks, and you can actually stuff like, you know, I want to say dog bags or just anything, but you can actually use it for the dogs. And I'm like, this is perfect. I mean, it's 30 bucks, I don't care, but I love the design. Like, look at it. Obviously Deadpool and Wolverine. And then here's the back part, and then this. I wish I had like little pockets, but I showed it to Babies and she's actually here with me. She's like trying to sniff it. I don't know if you can hear her. But I told her, I'm like, this is for you, since technically I spoil you, but I'm putting it in her harness, and then it has like another pocket over here. So I'm like, this is perfect. So yeah, I'm so jealous that I didn't get the other bags. If I ever do, I'm showing it off. But that's one of the other things. See, look, she's like right here. Those were the things that I bought, and then I gotta show you guys the big thing. But before I do, I also got, like, the guy was selling mostly like rugs and stickers, like 3D stickers and whatnot. But then he was selling like the stickers for you to put on your credit cards and whatnot. So I'm like, let me get that for myself because I have, my debit card is just plain, no design. If I had Chase, like, I would have had a really good design, but I don't. So I was like, fuck it, let's get a cover for my card. And then this is the design. It's Godzilla. I mean, come on, hands down. But yes, I did get myself this massive rug that I'm about to go get it. So give me 1 second. So for a massive $45, this big thing right here, that's what I was carrying all day. It was so funny too because a guy also came right behind me, like maybe like a minute later. He already saw me like holding this rug, and he's like, I came back for that. And I'm like, no, this is mine now. Like, I'm literally paying for it as we speak. But this massive rug, oh my god, and it's perfect because I'm actually gonna put it under here and you're about to see it. But it's so big. It's so big. It doesn't even fit the camera. Look at it. It's so freaking massive. And Cosmo's over here like trying to smell it too. But the thing is that the guy was selling like rectangular versions of them. They were like really small for different design. There was another one for Deadpool, and that's what caught my attention originally. And we just started talking, and he was telling me, oh yeah, and there's like the big rug, like nothing. He was saying it like nothing. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bigger one. I'm also selling it for 45. And I'm like, at first I was hesitant. But then when he was describing like the back end, he was telling me that he got it custom made and whatnot. And he was like, it's different than the other ones because it has a bigger grip on the floor. And I started feeling and noticing the difference. And I'm like, you kind of already sold me onto it. Do you accept card? You know, whatever. And that's when the other guy came in, and I'm already getting my hands on this. And I'm like, no, it's mine now. But yeah, and I even asked the vendor, like, why are you selling it? I don't know. I asked so many vendors, like, why are they selling their pieces? They couldn't even come up with anything. I mean, some, like, for example, one vendor was selling like this white Boba Fett Chase Funko Pop, but it was like the massive ones, and he was selling it for 200. I don't remember. And he was like, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, first of all, how did you even get it? Because usually whenever I try to like buy one of a kind pops, like I miss my opportunity. But he says like he just went online and boom, that's how he got it. And so I was like, okay, well, why are you selling this? Because I mean, it's a collector's item. But he just said, just cause, you know, he's like, I think somebody else has a better use for it, whether they're like collecting it or reselling it and whatnot. And so, yeah, I'm like, I guess. But like, for example, this rug here, I was like, why are you selling this? But either way, it's a steal. So yeah, like other places, I mean, no offense, I get it. People like actually do make stuff and they put their hard time and effort to make things and then, you know, charge up for a certain amount of dollars, like expensive kind. But this one, for example, this one like a big steal. So, cause look, you can, and that's just not, oh my God, like that's not all of it, but for 45, I'm like, wow. And I've seen smaller rugs, custom made for probably more, you know, I'm just saying. But this was probably the best purchase that I ever made while I was at SpaceCon. So thank you. And I say one of the best. I mean, I do have the picture of Giancarlo. At the same time, I'm like, freaking, for once, I'm actually upset of myself that I was cheesing so hard. But here's a picture. I mean, I was looking, because we were laughing for a bit. And I don't know how homeboy just, you know, made a straight face, like nothing. And I was still like, trying to get back to normality and take a normal picture, kind of like what I did with Ken Kersinger whenever we were at Houston Horror Film Fest. But like I was already laughing over the fact that he was laughing when I asked him like, is this your best side, you know, whatever. And it, like again, he was laughing, and I don't know how, like when we were already like posing, he just, you know, that's why I'm not an actor. But still, yeah, I was cheesing so hard on that picture. Like, do I like it? I like how he's with me. You know, we had a laugh and everything. He was such a sweet guy. At the same time, I'm like, I could have done better with the pose. So, yeah, that's the picture. Am I going to make it my profile picture? Well, yeah, of course. I have to. It's traditional. So, yeah, that's the things that I got while I was at SpaceCon. So, I would say yes, it was fun. Again, at the same time, I wish it was a little bit bigger. There were more vendors and whatnot. But, again, it is what it is. The thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that next week, I mean, it just barely happened, so it was unexpected. But I was like, hey, speaking of conventions, I did not know this. Next week on November 2nd, literally right when Crown Jewel is happening, Houston is having Collecticon, and I'm going. So the thing is that I don't know how big this venue is going to be. It's George R. Brown Convention Center, but sometimes the conventions don't even use all the halls. They would just use like portions of it. But George R. Brown Convention Center is like really massive. I know Comic Palooza and Anime Matsuri, like they took over the whole halls and the upstairs halls. And so Collecticon, again, I don't know how big it's going to be. It's not far from my place. So I'm like, I might do a mini blog just cause we'll see, and then we'll probably do another haul just like how we did on this one. The only thing is that I have a feeling it's gonna be short because it's not gonna be much of, you know, me traveling there and then coming back, because I literally live close to downtown. So just know that. But at the same time, I'm like, Chuck Norris is going to be there. I think that's what everybody is going for. Is him and Steve Aoki. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. He's the one that throws like cakes at people. And he's actually doing a performance there too. So I want to check it out. And usually what happens is whenever like there's conventions at George R. Brown, like food court vendors are right outside where Discovery Green is at, because they're like right there. So I'm like, ooh, let's see what's gonna happen with food. And now since we're talking about food again, whenever I went to SpaceCon, there were food vendors, But the lines were massive. And I remember just seeing like Pizza Hut. And then there was this drink station that I really wanted to go to, but the lines were big. And at the same time, the thing that I hate is that I'm technically in a time crunch when I was there yesterday, because I wanted to make it back home before 10 o'clock. But like, if you're in Houston driving at night, it tends to get very dangerous. So I try my best to avoid driving at night. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just don't know how to drive or are drunk. It was the weekend. People are already out, you know, partying and whatnot. So I was like, let me just make it home in one piece. I would have spent the night, but at the same time, I'm like, no, just depending how much time I spent at SpaceCon will determine whether if I spend the night or not. And I mean, it was just a massive, let's pew pew, get this, all right, let's go, you know? And so that's why I was like, if we do Collecticon next week, it's going to be really short. But at the same time, it will be perfect, because if I do that, I still manage to do the podcast next week. So there's that. So now you know. And with that being said, that wraps up this week's vlog video. And as always, make sure to follow my social media accounts at It's Lielers on Instagram, Threads, and X, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at It's Lielers. And also do not forget to follow my TikTok at Lielers. Lielers on TikTok. If you were to check my TikTok right now, it kind of blew up. Just know that. But other than that, I really do appreciate everybody that's been following me on TikTok. I really want YouTube to like go up. If you guys haven't checked out my link tree, it got revamped. So I really love these new updates that they're doing. So I'm really promoting mostly my TikTok and the YouTube channel. Instagram, not so much. Not everybody has Instagram, which is very understandable. I try my best not to like promote it as much. Threads, I barely use it. Same as X, so there's that. So if anything, I know a lot of people should have YouTube channels, so subscribe. And then TikTok is because I'm always devouring whatever content is out there. It's so hilarious. Of course, that's how I get my intro videos. So anywho, how I mentioned, next week, probably expect a mini blog. I'm not giving you guys any promises. I'm not saying, no, it's gonna happen. It just depends on the whole venue, how much time I'm there, and if I have a good haul compared to how I had it here at SpaceCon. So we'll see. And then of course, we'll be back next week with a new podcast episode. We're going to be talking about Venom: The Last Dance. I still haven't watched it, but I did see the Rotten Tomato score. It's still not looking too good. So we'll put my thoughts on that one, since I love Venom, as you can see. And then we're also going to be talking about Crown Jewel. Even though I did mention Collecticon is going to be happening, I'm probably going to watch Crown Jewel like at the end of the night. They usually put the replays, and then we'll talk about it on Sunday. And then yes, we're also going to be talking about Samantha Irving's departure from WWE. I think everybody was talking about it. I was like, oh my God. I'm going to throw like a little side comment. Ricochet was not behind her decision. Just know that. So far, we had confirmation that she is not going to be in AEW, so people can just drop that assumption. So there's that. And, you know, whatever else you may have missed in pop culture. So I hope you guys did enjoy this blog video. I know I did. Cosmo, she's snoring. I don't know if you can hear her. She had a blast. So we're finally back to technically normality again. So again, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this, and I will talk to you guys on the next one.